Welcome to Real Estate in Real Time. I'm Woody Zimmerman here with Mark Skabowski of Remax Lakes. Welcome to the show.
Here we are, morning.
Good morning. And here we are. The holidays they're basically upon us.
Oh, God, after Halloween, the Christmas decorations came out, right?
Oh,
that stuff
I know.
started.
Yeah, I saw Christmas decorations before Halloween.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Slow your roll.
I know.
Simmer
I know. But
Simmer down now.
yeah, exactly. But
it's here.
it's here.
It's here. And, it's hard to get into the season when the weather's still been
Oh, I know. It's
fairly warm.
Yeah, we've
60s and
unseasonably.
70s
Yeah, we've had
in November.
some
which
pretty warm weather.
I'm not complaining.
No
I'm
complaints.
not complaining, but it's hard to get into that.
Well, when you're out taking care of leaves, I'd rather have it
Yeah.
be 60 degrees
True
than
that.
30.
True
you know,
that.
But
True that. And my kids have always called me the Grinch, right? Because I'm not a big fan of Christmas lights. We've had 2-story houses. I do not enjoy
Yeah.
climbing up on the roof
right.
to put lights on the gutter. So I do the cheater way. So our outside floods, my Christmas lights,
Oh, there you
the
go.
exterior,
Yeah.
we have a green, we have a white, and we have a red.
And nothing wrong
Every
with
other one, and that's it.
nothing wrong with that at all.
Dad, you're lazy. You went, it's easy to fix.
Yeah. Well, you know what? My wife has never wanted me to do the outdoor stuff, and so she decorates on the inside, or we decorate on the inside. And she just always said, I don't want a bunch of lights on the front.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't,
Breaks my heart.
yeah, right.
You don't
You
want
know,
them.
I mean, I wanted to do like the door or something, but you know what? If you don't want to do them at all, that's fine by
Yeah.
me.
Well,
So.
when the kids were little and we lived in Michigan, we did have a 2-story house. We had 2 big columns.
Mhm.
And yes, I was up on the roof and I hung the white lights all around all
Yeah.
that stuff. We moved down here. It's been 24 years now. We've been here.
Yeah.
I did hang lights when the kids were younger,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm done now. I'm not putting those stinking lights
I like the floodlights idea.
It's a good-
That's
green, yellow, and red. You
There
can
we go.
buy them,
Yeah.
and you just set them aside for the next year.
Right.
And you just put them out the next year.
Perfect.
Every other color, and it's very Christmassy.
Yep, perfect.
Very Christmassy. So it's still functional too. But there's a house over here. Was it on Market Street? To where, good Lord,
It's a duplex.
it's a duplex.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they light up everything, and people
Mm.
drive by to see it. And
Oh yeah, yeah.
the best thing that I could ever see was the guy across the street, or the house across the street one year had a sign that said "Ditto," pointing at that one.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Now,
That's a good idea,
That's
yeah.
my idea
Yeah.
of decorating.
Yeah,
at
right.
that point. But I guess the point is, if you are selling your home, don't light it up like that house that's on Market Street,
Mm-hmm.
because people are going to look at your decorations. They're not going to look at your house.
Mhm.
So that's what the topic of the show today is. What do we do if we're selling our house during the holidays? Because it's more difficult.
Yeah.
It really is. Beyond the decorations,
Mhm.
because that's one part of it, is you probably have family coming in, or maybe you're going to be out of town, which isn't a terrible thing, but do you want people traipsing through your house,
Right.
while you've got Christmas stuff all around there, or whatever, holiday season you choose to engage in.
Mhm.
So I guess if you're going to sell this time of the year, I guess number one, depersonalize the decorations. So the number one mom, Santa Claus, the stockings hung with people's names and things on that. I'm always cognizant of that when I have pictures taken in kids' rooms, to where, people put their kids' names on the wall
Yeah,
and
right.
stuff. I just worry about security, and maybe I'm just being a little over analytical on that, but this stuff goes on the web.
Yeah, right.
Right?
Right.
And does a 4-year-old know that this person that's coming up and saying, "Hey, Johnny," because
Yeah.
they were on the web and saw that
Yeah.
name on the wall? I don't want to put any family in
Yeah.
that situation, or any
No,
child
no.
in that situation. So depersonalize. So that's a year-round deal for me. You're not seeing kids' names
Yeah.
in any of the pictures that are going out there. But for Christmas time, depersonalize, because otherwise people are in there looking at your stuff.
Yeah.
They're not looking at the house.
Mhm.
When we talk about neutralize your house in general, not just around the holidays, you want to have people looking at your house, not looking at your family portraits.
Mhm.
The I Love Me wall,
Mhm.
where people have got their family portraits all up on the wall. I mean,
Right.
I've been with clients. I've seen this over 20 years. They walk in, and what are they doing? They're looking to see if they know anybody
Mhm.
that's in the picture. We're there to look at the house,
Right.
and they're looking on the wall to see it. Now, granted, they do, wander through. Oh, but that prompts the conversation. You can see the family talking about, well, I know so and so, or
Right.
you know, our daughter goes to school with such. It's just different.
Mm-hmm.
So depersonalize your decorations if that's what you're going to do. Don't go over the top like the house on Market Street. Now, I think it's cool.
Oh, it's great to drive by. I
You
love
come
it.
out of Kroger and you drive across there, and it's like, boom, there it is.
Yeah.
I drive by when we have friends come into town, you know, over the holiday, we take them by.
Yeah.
But now, I guess we got nothing better to do. There's a story of my life, right? We're in Warsaw. What else you got to do? Drive by the one house that's really decorated.
Right. Right.
But it's unique. It stands out. Well, if you're trying to sell your house, you don't want people to only be coming by because you got this big honking inflatable Santa Claus
Yeah.
out in front of your house. You know,
Mhm.
you want them to come because they want to see your house.
Mhm.
So depersonalize it. Don't overdo it. Don't go over the top when it comes to your decorations on the interior and the exterior. And I guess after the break, we'll talk about a couple other tips and things related to selling during the holidays.
All right, very good. You're listening to Real Estate in Real Time. We'll be right back. Welcome back. You're listening to Real Estate in Real Time. I'm Woody Zimmerman here with Mark Skabowski, and we're talking about selling your house during the holidays. And to me, it would be very, very tough to break all that stuff out and decorate it like that house on Market Street. And then if you get an offer on your house, now you got to tear it all down.
Tear it all down. 30 days later, you're probably moving.
Yeah, no.
Which, you know, it is difficult. But I can say, though, if the other homes in your neighborhood are decorated, you don't want to be that outlier either, because then
Right.
you look like the Scrooge.
Yeah.
Right? So in this case, if everybody in my neighborhood did more than just the green,
Right.
white, and red lights, I'd probably peer pressure
Mhm.
would make me do something different.
Right.
Where if your neighborhood is such to where, you know, it's festive neighborhood and things like that, there's nothing wrong with participating, just tone it down a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
right? You want to be part of the crowd when it comes to that. You don't want to be that, oh, well, that's the one that, you know, you drive down the streets. I mean, there's areas, and I'm sure Fort Wayne has it. I remember where we're from in Michigan, I mean, to where whole neighborhoods had music in time,
Oh,
lights.
oh, yeah,
and the
yeah.
whole neighborhood is that way.
Yeah, right. We
Well,
have there'll be like cul-de-sacs, and it's
Okay.
just like all the houses. Yeah, they all decorate, and it's just cool to drive down and go around the cul-de-sac and come out. You
Yeah,
know?
and if you live in that neighborhood, you don't want to be the one where it's light, no light.
Yeah.
light, everybody but you.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying you got to participate at full level, but at least throw something out there. So, and then in the house, you know, a Christmas tree, it takes up room. If you've got 1,000 square foot house with a 12 by 12 living room, and you've got a 9-foot Christmas tree that takes up the whole, it's hard for people to see. It already, you know, we talk about decluttering and make
Right.
it feel bigger than it is.
Right.
What does the Christmas tree do?
Mm-hmm.
It fills up a whole corner of that room.
I will have to say that in my house, the rest of the year, I try to have minimum. I mean, we try to not have clutter in
Yeah.
our house, but when it comes around Christmas time, now we have the nativity scene, and we've got all this
You got
stuff.
everything.
We've got the thing to hold the cards, and and everything, and it is. I mean, and it feels good and homey and stuff
Yeah.
like that, but also it looks cluttered.
Yeah, it does, and it's hard for people to get past that.
Yeah.
Again, if it's a smaller home and you've over decorated on the inside, it's hard for people to get past that. Besides, they're looking at the pictures, they're looking at the stuff, they're going, how am I going to see my stuff in this stuff?
Mm-hmm.
I can't see past that.
And that's the thing. Every house that I have bought, it's like, can I visualize
Right.
me and my family walking through the front door? Can I visualize me and my family sitting in this living
Right.
room, eating in the kitchen, or cooking in the kitchen?
Right.
Can I visualize this stuff? And that's what your potential buyers are doing.
That's what they're thinking. Can I live here? Is this a place I want to be? So, again, on the inside of the house, scents. Don't go overboard. My
Oh, yeah.
wife loves those, I don't know, what a potpourri thing.
Yeah.
She burns them all the time, burns my nose. I'm like, as soon as I get in, I'm blowing the candles out.
Right.
All that stuff, that's not my cup of tea. She likes it, she enjoys it. Don't overpower people that are coming into your house. Just like the plug-ins.
Yeah.
So, you're going to a house, you have an odor and you're trying to cover it.
Mhm.
That's what people are thinking. So anything, moderation.
Yeah.
Bottom line, moderation. Whatever you're doing as far as decorating, security your presents.
Yeah.
If you've got presents stacked out under the tree,
Mm-hmm.
right? Now, as an agent, when we walk in, we've talked about this before. If I'm with a couple, we walk in the door and one goes one way, one goes the other. I'm one person. I can't go
Right.
both directions. You don't like to think that people are casing your joint, going to come in and take your stuff. But the fact is, there's a potential risk. You're opening your door up to strangers,
Mm-hmm.
right? When you have your house listed for sale. Now, I don't want to freak anybody out because it doesn't happen very often, but it could.
Mm-hmm.
So, you've got Christmas presents, you've got things out there that you want to make sure you hold on to.
Right.
Minimize that. Keep
Yeah.
in a closet.
Yeah.
They're shut up and they
Right.
put them out at the last
But
second.
again, like you're talking about the size of the tree, also those
Right.
Christmas presents, they could cover up half the living
They
room.
take up room.
And it makes it look smaller than what it actually is.
Right. So things that you can do, maybe a little bit of color, maybe, bake some cookies before people
Yeah,
come.
they always say that, bake
all of
cookies,
those things,
yeah.
it's helpful because you're sensory, you're helping people in. Whatever you do, minimize.
Yeah, or
Don't-
like a light scent, like a vanilla scent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
nothing too strong. or
Nothing too
powerful.
strong.
Yeah.
You don't want to do any of that. I guess bottom line is sometimes less is more.
Mm-hmm.
Don't put as much into it as maybe what you normally do.
Mhm.
And that's only if you're selling during the holidays. If you're not selling, do whatever you want to do. Knock yourself out. If you
Mhm.
want to decorate the exterior, if you want to decorate the inside, go to it.
Right.
I'm just giving tips from what buyers have said to me over years. As you're walking in, you
Right.
got to minimize those things. You can't see past it.
Now, typically, because the market slows down, so if you are buying or selling in December during the holidays,
Yeah.
then you're not a tire kicker. It's probably a pretty
it's
serious thing.
It's a serious thing, and I guess I'm glad you brought that point up because if you're selling and somebody does want to schedule a showing for your
Mhm.
property, do whatever you can to allow that to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But you have to be flexible. You have to remain flexible with that because they can't buy it if they don't see it. We're
Mhm.
past that.
Yeah.
People aren't buying sight unseen. They
Right.
need to come in and look at it. So that's something to think about if you're gonna be selling during this holiday time, and you've got this event planned at home and this event, I call them event, family gathering, whatever. Understand that buyers are off during those time periods. They're going to want to be looking at the house at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So can you legitimately offer your house up for showings? You need to be flexible with that.
Yeah.
And you're better off blocking out and saying, know what, we can't show it during that time period. Understanding that you may lose a potential buyer.
Yeah.
But it's still your house. Bottom line, all these are tips,
Yeah.
to help you sell.
Yeah.
Bottom line, it's still your house. You're still living there. Even though you're selling, it's still your house. Do what you got to do.
Yeah. Good info during this time. So, all right, your contact info.
Sure, the website, skabowskiteam.com. Phone numbers, 574-527-0660. You can always email me at mark@skabowskiteam.com.
All right. Well, have yourself some happy holidays this holiday season. You've been listening to Real Estate in Real Time. Have a good weekend.